Welcome back to the Wizard Shop. We're going to take a look at this really nice Jeep and the really odd thing we're doing to it. Let's take a look. Welcome back, guys. You caught us on a Sunday. We just finished church service and we haven't even gone home yet. We stopped by the shop to give you guys a video. That's how dedicated we are for you guys. Now this is a 2004 Jeep Wrangler TJ. It's the TJ series of Wrangler. And it's another heater core. You guys just saw a video on an avalanche where we had pieces strewed everywhere. Luckily this one isn't that bad. But the request that the customer gave is really odd. But before we get to that, let's take a look around the vehicle. We'll show you all the parts that came out. Let's take a look, guys. Nothing fancy here, just your average Jeep TJ. And accordingly, it's dirty. It's been on a dirt road or something. And obviously, that doesn't surprise us. That's what this thing's made for. But it's in pretty good shape. The tires on this one look like they're probably half gone, maybe a little more, but there's still some life left in them. I've looked over the vehicle and I can tell it's not been abused or beat up. I wouldn't mind having one, Mrs. Wizard.
No.
Oh, no? Just that fast, huh? No?
Yeah, no.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and look around and see what we see. This one has a hard top on it, which is the way I would have it. I don't really like flappy material flapping in the wind when I'm going down the highway, or the interstate, I should say. Has a big mud tire as a spare. Back glass is all intact. Got some diamond plate on here to protect the corners. And like I mentioned, it's just an average everyday Jeep. This happens to be a Rubicon, as you can see on the bonnet or the hood. And I think these are aftermarket, these fog lamps. That doesn't look stock, but I could be wrong. So let's go ahead and let Mrs. Wizard give you guys a tour of the interior, actually the lack thereof.
Well, ladies, gents, we normally start at the dash, but we don't have one today, so I can't tell you what it looks like, how many miles are on the car, or the condition of the dash that has been in the sun, because it's gone. Obviously, we're doing a heater course, so things have been, removed. But we can see some, lovely wiring harnesses. I would love to not have to take that apart. A little bit of a rust issue going on there, but nothing too crazy. But as we go around, you'll see, again, not a lot. Got some fuses there, which would have been in the glove box if it had been installed. We do see the one thing that does make this a little bit more fun is that this is a 5-speed manual. So that could be a fun little addition. This has got standard, gray hard plastic door panels. It's got a nice kind of fabric design on it, the fabric seats. And we do have them covered up with our, moving blankets, because obviously they're working in here and don't want anything hurt. The doors, there's nothing electric in these doors because they can be removed. So no electric windows, no electric locks, everything is manual, which, is great on a 2-door, but we actually owned a 4-door version of this. And it was kind of annoying because you'd have to, get in the car and unlock all the rest of the doors. So in a 2-door, not too bad. It is fun though when the doors are off because it's kind of, fun to be strapped in and going down the trail. Let's take a look at the back seat. We can see there is the glove box with a few items in it, and it does have the seat pulled up to get a little bit more cargo space, and we can see that they're actually holding a baby seat in there currently. Obviously they're not needing that. Apparently they must have a car with another seat in it. As we move our way up, you'll see that the hard top is in really good shape, which why would it not? Because it is, after all, a hard fiberglass. There should be no way for it to sag, tear, or be damaged. Okay, so being that this is the lack of an interior and there is no way to end at the steering wheel because there isn't one, let's see what's really going on here and let's find out the crazy request that the customer has for the Wizard.
So unlike the avalanche video you guys just saw, which is a nightmare to get it all apart, although this has lots of pieces and parts, it wasn't nearly as bad. But there's still kind of some scary things going on. Here we have the steering column has been removed. That's why Mrs. Wizard couldn't end her interior tour with the steering wheel, because it's sitting right there. Here's our cluster bezel. And the cluster with the miles that we can't read because it's out of the car right now. Here's our air intake for the HVAC box. There's the glove box. A bunch of trim panels and pieces. Some air flaps. Here's some interior little duct hoses. They look kind of like that movie Aliens with Sigourney Weaver, where the alien has these things all over it. Does that look like it, Mrs. Wizard?
Sure.
I don't know. Anyways, that kind of looks like that to me.
He watches a lot of sci-fi out there, ladies and gents.
Yep. So that's not it. Just like I always say, just wait. There's more. Let's head on over to the next pile. And this is the entire dash. Here's the back side of the radio, an airbag, some more ductwork for ventilation, and some wiring harness and whatnot. There's a lot of talk on a lot of forums where people try to find a cheating way to get the heater core out. And on these vehicles, there really isn't one. You have to pull the dash, pull the heater box out of the HVAC box, just like any other car, and do the heater core that way. So I just brought this over. This is the HVAC box itself. You can see right here molded where the evaporator core sits, and the heater core sits right in this section over here. The only way to get the heater core out is to remove this box, and then it splits in half, kind of like a clamshell. You guys saw that on the Avalanche, that you have to pull it apart. This one has a few screws in it because we're working with it. But that's how you get to the heater core on most modern vehicles, and it is a pain. Let's go take a look at the engine bay. So here is our Chrysler inline 4-liter 6-cylinder. Very good engine. I have seen many of these with 300,000 and 400,000 miles on them. The engines are bulletproof. They are very, very good. We have some air horns you can see there. Very easy to work on. You can reach all around the various angles and sides of the engine without trouble, without cursing, without getting mad. But you can see all these little holes are where there were studs for that HVAC box I talked about. And those hold the HVAC box to the firewall. Those have to come off as well to get the box out of the car. These engines are not known for high RPM, high horsepower. They are known for low RPM torque, which is exactly what you need on the trail. You guys have heard in many videos that I mentioned you don't need 750 horsepower to go 2 miles an hour on a trail and enjoy the scenery, unless you want to break stuff. All you need is very low in torque, the correct gearing, and you can just take your time, go over boulders and logs and things, and really enjoy the trip, the trail. To me, the enjoyment is not flying up a hill at 70 miles an hour and cracking your transfer case like an egg. That's not fun. Now you guys just looked at the firewall. Did any of you car gurus out there notice anything really strange? Anything modified? Something that looks out of place? There is something out of place. Let's go back to the HVAC box, and then I'll come show you out here what we did. So I mentioned just a minute ago, you have to pull the HVAC box and split it in half to get the heater core out. There is no other way. But this customer is not happy with that situation. He said, I want there to be a way to remove the heater core and never have to pull the dash again and never have to split the HVAC box and all that again. This is the second time a customer has asked me to do this kind of repair, and it is very odd. But let me show you guys. Let me turn the box around here. This is our heater core, this brown plastic. This is the bad one. It actually leaks. Right now, as it sits, you can pull it out without splitting the case, without taking the dash out. I'll go ahead and put it back in here. We're going to build a sheet metal cover that goes over this, that has just a couple of screws and some foam to seal off the air. But this is now accessible that you can just pull it straight out. But there's a problem. Right here where these two ports are in the metal firewall we just looked at, the hole is only this big. So in order to facilitate this coming out, we cut a hole in the firewall. Let's go take a look. So now, as you can see, the hole is no longer an oval, it's actually the shape of an L. It looks like a Tetris block. Remember Tetris, Mrs. Wizard?
Hey, I have kids in my classroom who still play that.
Yeah, it's a really cool game. We will build another access panel that goes there with some foam sealant so that you can remove the first panel here in the firewall, remove the second panel on the HVAC box, remove the heater core hoses, or the heater hoses, and slide the heater core right out. This situation is really strange. You guys know the only other time I've cut a hole in a car was Tyler Hoover from Hoovy's Garage, his orange Murcielago. There was some damage done from a wreck to the used transmission we put in his car. And I said, Tyler, we're going to have to remove this transmission. And his idea was, he said, no, Wizard, we're not going to do that all again. I want you to cut a hole in the composite in my Lamborghini. I was like, what? He said, yeah, I want you to do that. I will pay you to do that. Okay, so I did, and it worked. There is a patch there over that hole. There's no damage or anything structural wrong with the car. But in this situation here, it is revisited again. This was supposed to be a normal heater core. I planned for a normal heater core. But the customer was adamant. I don't want to pull the dash anymore. I don't want to pay to remove the HVAC box again. I want you to cut a hole in it and make a way where I can pull the heater core out so that from here on out, my heater core job is 50 or $100, not $1,000. 3 times with the customer, I triple verified this request. The first time I said, you want me to do what? He said, I want you to cut a hole or make an access panel so I can pull the heater core out. And I stopped in mid-sentence. I said, so let me get this straight. You want me to take a hacksaw and cut a hole in your firewall, and you're going to pay me to do it? He said, yes. And then a third time I said, okay, I need to be very clear. We're modifying and possibly devaluing this Jeep by cutting a hole in it, number one. And number two, I'm not going to give you any warranty on this. This is almost a hack job. I said, but I will do it for you if you want to pay for it. I'm happy to take care of this for you. He said, I'm totally happy. This is a final decision. It's a concrete decision. Do you need the money right now? I said, no, I don't need the money right now. I just need to triple verify that you want me to hack a hole in your Jeep. He said, yes, I want you to do that. Okay. As you can see, we've cut a hole in the firewall. We've also put a matching hole in the HVAC box. We will build a cover over the HVAC box and a second cover on the firewall itself. It will work. It will do the job. It will still have good heat. It'll be sealed off from exterior wind and noise. And the next time it goes out, it'll be very easy to replace. The customer's reasoning for this is not only just the labor involved, but the frequency. His thought is that these heater cores, these new ones that they have now, they leak. They last a year and they leak again. He said, if I'm going to be doing this every year for the rest of my ownership of this Jeep, I'm not going to pay $1,000 a year for a heater core. I want you to cut a hole in it. So we did. We ran into another problem though. We got everything done, everything matches up, we're ready to make our access panels. I called CarQuest and I said, go ahead and send me a heater core for this Jeep. They got back with me and said, Wizard, there are none. So I've checked Canada, I've checked North America, and even some access we have in Mexico. There's none. The company that made these stopped making them. I was like, what? So I called O'Reilly's. And about a day later, same thing. There are none. They're just none. I said, okay, I'll try AutoZone. I don't use them that much, but I'll try them. Same scenario, there are none. I even tried my Worldpac account that I have mostly for European cars, but they do sell domestic parts. And I sent an email to them and they researched it and they came back and they said, this is strange, but no, there are no heater cores for the Jeep TJ series. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. I went to Rock Auto. They do show one available, but there's no phone number. They actually says on their site, we don't have a phone number. We don't operate that way. You have to email us. I'm waiting for a response from them if they really have one in stock or not, because I've expressed to you guys, be careful online. When somebody says they have something in stock, don't just plunk down the cash. You'll get an email in a day or two that says, oh, by the way, or it could be a week or two. Oh, by the way, we don't have those. We haven't had those, and we're not going to. And so, well, you said on your online ordering system that it said in stock. Yeah, that's just a formality. We actually don't have them in stock. It's like, oh, okay, well, can I have my money back? Yes, you can. It's going to take 3 days processing. So I'm money out on a part, and I have to order a second one. It's just a real fiasco. So I'm waiting to hear back on that. It's possible I can get one through them. But this is not a Lamborghini. This is an American icon. Jeeps have been around since World War I and all the way to today. Why in the world are we just not making heater cores anymore for Jeep Wranglers? So that's where this plan comes into play a second time. We'll get the modifications done as he requested. We'll put it all back together. We'll put the old heater core in without the heater hoses connected. He's going to take care of finding or searching a heater core, and when he finally does get one, he will be able to remove it himself, put the new one in, put the panels back on, and from then on out, he'll be able to do his own heater cores in his garage or in his driveway without everything that you just saw over there, all those parts, table full of parts. I understand where he's coming from. I agree that it's going to be a lot cheaper and a lot easier, but I don't know that I would bring myself or be able to bring myself to do that what we just saw. That's just really odd. But I don't fault him for it. It's his vehicle. That's what he wants done. He has cash in hand. He said, do it. Here's the cash.
Okay, Car Wizard, so he's cut a hole in his firewall. What damage can that do?
It's really not going to do any damage. It's kind of unsightly. If he goes to sell this vehicle in the future, someone who's a Jeep enthusiast or a Jeep guru, they might scan under the hood and they come across a metal panel where there used to be nothing there. There should be nothing there. And he's going to say, what is that? What in the world is that? And he's going to have to describe to them, oh, I paid the Car Wizard to cut a hole in my firewall. And when he mentions that, he probably just lost $500 to $1,000 in value. But that, again, it's not my car. It's what he wants done. We did it. So the irony here is we cut some holes to access something that really it shouldn't be that difficult to get to. But you guys know heater cores on most just about any modern car is a nightmare. They put it together at the factory. They know the heater core will last past the warranty, and that's where it stops. They don't care. They don't care it's going to be hard or expensive to get to it. It's really sad. And this isn't a video to knock the customer or try to be rude to him or be mean because of what he's doing to his car. I just find it very odd, but I do understand where he's coming from. I do get it. It makes sense. I kind of wish they would have done that professionally, engineered a correct, a more beautiful, a more proper looking method to do that for every car. That would be wonderful. I actually worked on a Volkswagen not too long ago. I think it was a newer Jetta, and the heater core was under the dash. I took one small panel off, unhooked the heater hoses, and slid it out. I was like, somebody actually did some proper engineering. This can be done. Why can't this be done on other cars? I don't know. Well, I do know. I just explained it to you guys. They don't care. The companies don't care. So if you're curious what kind of tools we use to hack up this firewall, check my Amazon affiliates link in the description below. We get a small cut, and this Jeep get a small cut as well. Make sure to hit the subscribe button because there's always something new coming into the shop, and there's new projects to come. Thanks for watching.